Hi first graders, let's get started with our first lesson. Again, my name is Miss Ashley and I'm looking forward to working with you today. The set of materials that we're going to be using are from the Tennessee Foundational Skills Curriculum Supplement. We're going to start with Grade 1 materials, Unit 1, Lesson 1. Our objectives for today are posted here on this slideshow so you guys can think about it. But one of the things that we're going to really work on and really focus on today is letter formation and really being able to blend and segment words. Now let's think about the things that we will need for our lessons. Alright, so for today, what you're going to need are some letter cards. If you have downloaded the Tennessee Foundational Skills Curriculum Supplement, then you have some letter cards that you could print off. If you haven't, no worries. Actually, I made my own. Let me show you what they look like, and you might have some fun making your own as well. So we're only going to need certain letters, and I'm going to show you what my homemade cards look like. So I cut some white paper, and I printed an A, an N, a P, a C, and 2 G's. These are the letters that we'll be working with today when we do our chaining activity. Again, they're listed on this page so that you guys can get your materials ready. Now, another alternative that you might consider if you haven't printed your cards or you're not ready to make some cards, you could possibly have some magnetic letters laying around in your space. So I had some at my house. You also may have some foam letters, just different letters that you could use in our lesson. So I have my A, I have my N, I have my P, I have my C, and I have my 2 G's. So that's another way that we could get our letters. So once we pause the video in just a second, I want you to think about how you might want to get some letters so that you can use those during our chaining activity today. The next thing you're going to need is a pencil. Make sure it's sharp and it's got a good eraser because there's going to be some handwriting today and I'm very excited about that. It's one of my favorite things to teach. And the last thing that you're going to need for today's lesson, you're going to need worksheet 1.1 and worksheet 1.2. Now again, no worries if you haven't printed this off, that's not a problem at all. You can get some primary tablet paper. So that tablet paper that you use at school, that would be a great start. The lines look just like the lines on the worksheet, and so you would be able to use that. Alright guys, let's get started. Now when we think about our work in foundational skills, our work is really rooted in the idea of sounds and understanding those sounds and what those sounds, when we produce them correctly, how they help us understand the words that are being built, the sentences that are being built, the stories that are being built. So it's going to be really, really important that we start with sounds first so that we can really build that out. In order to start with sounds first, we have to really think about how we blend and how we segment words. So I'm going to teach you how to blend and how to segment words today. And remember, those were part of our objectives today. It was blending and segmenting. All right, so let's start with blending. Let's start with the word at. Right? If I'm going to blend the word at, I'm going to think about the sounds that I hear in at, and then I'm going to put that together. I'm going to blend those sounds together to make the word. So if I'm going to blend, I would say at, at. Right? I'm going to do it again. At, at. I want you to try it. Very good. I touch my pointer finger and my middle finger, and then I pull it together with my fist. Okay? At, 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 at. Okay, let's do another one. Let's blend another word. It. 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 You do it. Very good. It. It. All right, let's do on. I'm going to turn the light on. On. Very good. Very good. All right, I want us to blend the word be. Be. B. E. B. Very good. You did it? Excellent. All right, I want us to do another one. Sip. 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 Very good. All right, let's do big. 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 Excellent. Excellent. All right, cub. 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 Very good. Very good. Tap. Tap. You do tap. Excellent. Excellent. You are doing a great job blending those sounds together to make the word. All right, so then we're going to think about segmenting. And when I segment a word, I'm really trying to figure out just how many sounds are in that word, because we know that words are made up of lots of sounds, but we have to segment them out to be able to hear them all and produce them all correctly. All right, so this is going to involve us kind of counting a little bit and figuring out just how many sounds are in each word. All right, so let's try that. We're going to go back to our first example, which was at, and we're going to segment. Now, when I segment, I'm going to hold up a finger for each sound that I hear, okay? So I'm going to do at. 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 How many sounds are in the word at? At. At. 2 sounds. That's right. Now I want you to try it. So you're going to put out one wiggly finger when you hear one sound, and you're going to put another wiggly finger up when you hear another sound. If you hear 3 sounds, you would put a third or a fourth or a fifth when we get to those larger words that have more sounds. So let's do at. I want you to try it. Very good. So now all of those words that we blended, we're going to segment. We're going to go back through and we're going to segment. We're going to figure out just how many sounds are in those words. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's do it. 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 How many sounds? 2. Excellent. On. 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 How many sounds? 2. Very good. B. E. 2 sounds. Excellent. Sip. S. I. 3 sounds. We're really moving up, aren't we? Big. 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 3 sounds. Very good. Cub. B. 3 sounds. Cub. Tap. T. A. P. Tap. Very good. 3 sounds. You guys did excellent. Pat yourself on the back. Yes. Oh, no. Double pat on the back. 1 for blending, 1 for segmenting. Excellent job, first graders. Now we're going to have an opportunity to apply some of what we've just learned with blending and segmenting. So when we write a word, we draw a picture of each sound that we hear in the word. We do that by moving from the left to the right. So I'm going to model that for you today. For example, in order to write the word it, I would need to understand that I hear the sound I and the sound t. I hear two sounds. I've segmented that word. So I'm going to draw the symbol for the I sound, the lowercase letter I. Then I'm going to move to the right just a little bit, and I'm going to draw the symbol for the T sound. I'm going to start at the top and pull down, and I'm going to cross on the dotted line. So now I've segmented the word, and then I've also written the word. Now I want to blend it. Let's segment one more time. I, T. Now let's blend it as we move from the left to the right. It. All right, so let's think about how we might do that for another word. What about a word that has more than two sounds? Let's try the word mad. All right, let's segment that word. M, a, d. M, a, d. So I'm going to draw the symbol for the sound. What symbol or letter might I draw for the sound? Yes, M is the symbol for the sound. All right, so our word was mad. How many sounds did we hear? A, d. We heard three. We have I'm going to scoot to the right just a little bit, and I'm going to draw the symbol for A. That's exactly right. That would be an A. A, d. Now I need to draw the symbol for the D sound. Exactly. That's going to be the letter D. Letter D. Now, by segmenting that word into sounds, a, d, we knew that this word had three sounds, and I was able to write that word. That's pretty exciting. Now I want to blend this word, because when I'm reading, I don't read the word mad like a, d. I may decode it that way, but when I read it fluently, I read it as mad. So let's segment one more time, and then let's blend this word so that we can read fluently. A, d. Now let's blend it. Remember, we touch our finger, and then we make a fist when we blend. A, d. Mad. Very good. All right, one more word. I'm going to model one more. Let's do if. If. If we go outside today, it would be fun. If. I. I've segmented the word. How many sounds does it have? Two. That's exactly right. So I should draw two symbols. I. The first one is I. Exactly. So that's going to be that letter I. The next sound is yes. I'm going to scoot to the right just a little bit, and I'm going to draw the symbol for the sound, which is an F. I. We've segmented. Let's blend. I. If. Very good. Now I want us to move over and let you do some writing of your own. So let's go to our worksheet 1.1 that we talked about when we talked about getting our materials ready. Let's go there. There we go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? We're going to do some handwriting practice of our own, where we really focus on how to make our letters correctly. Because it is very important that each time that you make your letters, that you make them the same way and that they're correct, so that you can read what you've written, so that your teacher, your mom, your dad, your brother or sister or friend can read what you've written. It also is making that impression in your brain, so every time that you see that symbol for that sound or that letter, you know exactly, your brain is telling you what to say when you see that symbol. All right, so let's look at our first letter at the very top of our page, lowercase letter A. So to make lowercase letter A, I'm going to make a circle to the left, come to the middle line and straight line down. Now, while I make that symbol, my brain is telling me to say ah. So I'm going to, when I pick up my pencil and make the last stroke, I'm going to say ah. Let me show you again. Ah. Then I'm going to scoot over a little bit and I'm going to do another one. Ah. Ah. I want you to finish out and do 3 more lowercase a's. Now I want you to look at all the lowercase a's that you just wrote. And I want you to use your very keen first grade eye to look and see which one of those is your very best, the one that you're most proud of. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to choose mine, and mine is this one right here. And I'm going to put a big heart around it because I just love that one. I think I did a great job with that one. I noticed that my lines look a lot like this one over here that's an example, and that's just my very favorite ones. I'm very proud of that one. I hope you found one you were proud of too. All right, now let's move to our uppercase A. So in order to make an uppercase A the right way, remember we want to make it the same way every time because we're making that impression in your brain, in our brains, okay? So I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to pull down, go back to the top and pull down, and I'm going to cross in the center. Again, I'm going to start at the top, pull down, cross in the center. And what sound is my brain telling me to make when I make that letter? Yep, I hope you were hollering out that my brain is telling me ah, because that is what it's telling me. Now I'm going to go ahead and make another one, and I'm going to say that sound when I do it. Ah. Very good. Now I want you guys to finish out. Looks like you have about room for 3 or 4 more uppercase A's. I hope you did better than I did. I did not make my sound once I drew my symbol. I'm going to go back and point to each one of those and say the sound. Ah, 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 ah. Now I'm going to go find my favorite one. And I see it again. I must really like to do those ones in the middle. Now you go find your favorite one and put a heart around it. Let's move along to our next letter. Our next letter is P, lowercase p. I'm going to start in the middle line, and I'm going to pull down below the bottom line, And then I'm going to circle around and touch. Start at the middle line, pull down below the bottom line, circle around and touch. And each time that I do that, what sound might I say? P. Very good. I'm going to say P. I do not say P. Okay, so listen to me again. P. It's like a puff of air is coming out of your mouth. P. P. Very good. All right. So I'm going to finish out my line while you finish out yours and say the sound P. 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 Very good. Now what are we going to do? Yep, we're going to find that one that we are most proud of. And guess what? One is down here on the end for me this time. All right, let's do our uppercase P's. For uppercase P, I'm going to start at the very, very top line, pull down to the very, very bottom line, go back to the top, and come around at the middle. And what sound am I going to say? P. Go back, pull down top to bottom, come around at the middle, and say P. Top to bottom, around at the middle, and say P. Top to bottom, around at the middle, and say P. Finish that line for me, please. Choose your favorite one. All right, first grade, you're about to have your first homework. I hope you're ready for this. I'm going to show you how to form the rest of these letters. And in the time after you finish our lesson today, you can go back and write those letters. But let's do each one of them. That way you have a good solid example, and then you can go back and finish it up. Okay? So we're going to do lowercase n. I want you to watch me. Pencils down, watching me. I'm going to start at the middle line, pull down to the bottom, and make the hump. And what sound will I say? Ooh, that one really does a number when it vibrates in my throat. Let's try that again. Put your hand on your throat and see if you can feel that motor running in there. Very good. The letter N makes us say this sound. Very good. All right, so when we see this symbol, this is uppercase N. Start at the top line, and I'm going to pull down. I'm going to lift my pencil up, and then I'm going to go back to the top, slide down, and up. Okay, let me do that one more time so you can see. I think my hand was in the way. I apologize. So I'm going to pull down, then I'm going to go back up to the top, up. There we go. And what sound am I going to say when I see that symbol? Very good. And we can tell that our motor's going when we make that sound. Our tongue is back behind our teeth, up on the top of the roof of our mouth. Not nuh. Nuh is not the sound that it makes. Very good. All right, now let's do another one as an example. This one is lowercase letter C. It's going to touch that middle line and come down and touch the bottom. I'm going to go to the middle line, come around to the bottom. That's your lowercase letter C. And when we see that symbol, we say K. K. It's a very short sound. K. Let's do uppercase letter C. It looks a lot like it. However, it's going to touch the top, come around, and touch the bottom. And when we see that symbol, we say K. Very good. Let's do one more. Uppercase letter C, come around. Very good. All right, and we're almost done with our letters for today. I want us to look at this one. This one is lowercase letter G. When I see this symbol, I say G, G. I come around a lot like a lowercase letter C, right? And then I'm going to give him a tail below the line. Pretty interesting. All right, so we have almost something that looks like a lowercase letter C, and then I'm going to give him a little fish hook or a tail down there below the line. And when I write that symbol, my brain says G, G. It tells me what sound to make. Very good. All right. Now we're going to do uppercase G. Uppercase G. It's around a lot like an uppercase C, huh? And it slides back. Come around to come up to the middle and slide back. Uppercase letter G tells me that I should make the sound G, G. Very good. All right, now always go back and find your favorite. We've got something to be proud of all the time. I do see a couple of letters that went below the line. Look here and see which ones you can tell have gone below the line. Yeah, lowercase letter P drops below the line. And what sound do I make when I see that? P. Very good. What other letter? Lowercase letter G drops below the line. And what sound do I make? G. Very good. G is the sound that we're going to make when we see that.